Okay, so let's talk about money, specifically my money, where it goes, and why it disappears from my bank so quickly. I'm a 27-year-old girl living alone in Bangalore as a digital marketer, and here are my monthly expenses. Hey guys, this is HP, and if you have ever wondered how expensive or how cheap it is to live in Bangalore, and of course it is not cheap, you're in the right place. So in this video, I'm going to explain what are my expenses, including my personal expenses as well, so you can have a rough idea of how much you need to live in Bangalore. Again, these numbers are based on my personal spendings. It can differ from person to person, and I have seen a lot of persons who have managed to live with 15k to 20k expenses as well. This is purely going to be my personal spendings, so here it is. So without any further ado, let's get started. And first up, the biggest expense that I have living here is obviously, which is rent. So when I had an idea of moving to Bangalore, I initially wanted to stay in a PG. So I went and looked out few PGs, and they said it would cost me around 20 to 25k for a single room. And I thought it was too expensive, and I had an idea, okay, let me search a house. If I could find a house for 17 or 18k maximum, like I would have a much bigger space, right? The rooms which I saw in PGs were like very too small. They were 10 into 10 room sizes, and I found for the price that I pay, at least if I could get a bigger space, it would have been fine, but no, I didn't. Then I started house hunting, and initially I was looking in main areas like BTM, HSR, Koramangala, and obviously the rents were expensive. For a 1 BHK, they asked me somewhere around 20 to 23k. Anyways, I'm a digital marketer, so my work is mostly remotely done. So I started looking out for houses. I went with a few brokerage peoples, and they said that the brokerage fee is 1 month of the rent. So simultaneously, I was looking for houses in OLX also, because if I could find a house on my own, I could save 1 month of the brokerage fee, right? So I started finding houses simultaneously in OLX, and I found a house in North Bangalore, which was very close to few famous tech parks, and the rent was 17k, which includes the maintenance as well. And it is a 2 BHK. It is not very spacious. It is like 450 to 500 square feet, small 2 BHK. And anyways, I was happy with the rent, right? Because there, if I could take a PG, it would be like 10 into 10. When comparing to that, this was fine. The only problem that I had in my house, which I'm currently staying in, is the kitchen is little darker. You don't get direct sunlight because there is a big building behind my house, so it blocks the sunlight. So this was my only concern. So to summarize, I pay a rent of 17k, which includes my maintenance. And next biggest expense for me is food. So I try to cook at home mostly, but sometimes, yes, I feel too lazy to cook, so I order outside as well. So my monthly groceries would be around 5 to 6k, and if I have to include my outside food like eating via Swiggy or Zomato, it would be around 2k maximum. And also I try to go out to different nice restaurants so that I can try different foods. So that would be around 3 to 4k a month maximum. Next comes transport. So I do have my own vehicle. So if I want to go somewhere nearby to buy some groceries or to my gym, I take my own vehicle. But if I have to travel a little far, I would preferably take an auto or a cab, because the traffic here is so hectic. I really don't want to drive looking at the map, so I take an auto or cabs. So my expenses for transport would be 1 to 2k for fuel, and 2 to 3k for like taking a cab or an auto. And also I travel to my hometown once a month, so I would like to include that also in transport expense. So if I have to visit my hometown, the up and down expense would be around 3k approximately. So the total expense for transport would be 5k. And also I pay electricity bill of 300 to 400 rupees a month. And the next expense would be my gym fee, which is around 2000 rupees. My next expense would be for entertainment. I am really a movie buff. I really like to watch movies in theaters, and I almost watch all the movies in theaters. So a minimum of 3 to 4 movies in a month, and that would cost me around 1,000 rupees just for the tickets. I don't eat much in the theater, so it is just for the tickets. And next comes my personal expenses. I really like to purchase some random stuffs. I'm a little shopaholic, to be frank. So I buy some random things from Amazon, or some makeup things from Nika, and some random stuffs, right? So for this, I would spend a minimum of 7 to 10k a month. This varies each month, right? Sometimes for 1 month I would not buy anything. Maybe that would be like around 1,000 or 2,000. Some months I would buy for 10 to 15k also. So I would take an average of 7k a month for my personal expense. And next comes my investment. So I'm not, to be frank, I'm not a big like a saver. I really like to experience things rather than saving. I know it is not like very good. I would not recommend you guys to do the same, but I don't save much basically. I usually save around 5,000 rupees a month, and recently I have increased my savings of from 5,000 to 20,000. So my investments are 20,000 rupees a month currently. And the next expense would be travel. I really like traveling. So last month I traveled to Varkala, and before that I traveled to Pondicherry. So I don't want to spend much on my traveling, so I take trips which are little affordable. So I would keep a budget of 10,000 rupees a month for my travel expenses. So I just added all my expense, and this comes around 71,300 rupees. And for few this might seem like a big amount, and for few this might be a smaller amount. So if you are someone who's thinking this is like a big amount of money, all I wanted to say is, when I was here in Bangalore in 2019, I had a salary of 19,000 rupees, 18 to 19,000 rupees, and I would send half of my salary back to my mom for her expenses, and I would sustain with a salary of 6 to 7k, with the amount of 6 to 7k here in Bangalore. For PG I would pay 3,000 to 4,000, and 2 to 3k for my other expenses. So I know it is hard when you look at this amount. You feel like little disappointed, right? But all I wanted to say is, you will get there. This might take some time, but you will get there eventually, and trust the process. So with that being said, the video has come to an end. If you have watched this video till this end, thank you for watching. And if you like these kind of videos, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to like this video. See you in the next one. Bye.